Hey there, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a good one. I finished up a big batch of tatty ribbon yesterday and this morning. I was really happy that you guys liked it, and it will be going in the shop a little later on this week. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. This is what a tatty ribbon looks like, guys. It's a piece of fabric, and I got to thank Miss Cheryl for sending me these fabric strips, and then she sent me a whole bunch of interesting fabric, and then I was like, well, what can I do with that? And I started doing the tatty ribbon thing, and I told Shannon Green yesterday, I said, I feel like I feel all Dolly Parton, and coat of many colors, the song about back in time, I go drifting once again back to the seasons of my youth. I recall a box of rags someone gave us and how my mama put those rags to use. There were rags of many colors. Every piece was small. I didn't have a coat. It was way down in the fall. Mama sewed the rags together. She sewed every piece with love. She made my coat of many colors that I was so proud of. And it just really reminded me of that sort of project, where you take your tiny bits and your tiny scraps and you put them together and you just make something sweet and pretty and lots of fun too. And that's what we're going to do this morning. I am taking a tatty ribbon and I'm going to do some decorating on it. You can use these for all kinds of things. And again, please continue to watch the video, and I will give you some ideas about ways to use your tatty ribbons. So getting those in the shop a little later on today. Let's get on with some tatty decor. Like I said, I spent good chunk of hours putting these together. They are labor intensive. You have to make sure that everything is ironed out and flat, and then I kind of curate the pieces, how I'm going to use them. I do not glue first. I take them directly to the sewing machine, so I do a lot of stitching on these, and it just gives them a lot of really fun interest. All right, let's do a couple of things here. I've got ideas right here. I've got some coffee dyed paper that we're going to use today. If I stop and swallow, I'm still having tooth problems that I hope to kind of get sorted this week. Let's add some things to our tatty ribbons. I've preloaded some needles here. These needles are from a So Smart Rust Proof needle book that I love the cover of, and this is what it looks like inside. It's Crown Horse Rust Proof finest quality needles, and if you scout right there, you can see that it was made in Japan. So I have no idea how old it is. I just know that I love it. I think the first thing that we're going to do with our tatty ribbon is we are going to sew on some buttons. You'll see that I've got an assortment of things to play with right here, and it ranges from buttons to fiber, lace, tassels. These are some things that Miss C sent as well. I think these are maybe button covers. I'm not sure what these things are, but I really love them, so I'm going to use these. You can use your small bits and bobs like just little cutouts or even magazine cutouts. I've got charms over here. I've got some brads right here. These beads were made by my pal Michelle. You guys have heard me talk about Michelle and her excellent work. I'll leave Nevermore Creations linked below in the description box so you can see some of the things that these beautiful journals that Michelle does. And then, just for fun and bling value, I thought, you can maybe even mount some of these onto this strip. And then we're going to cut the strips apart, and I'm going to show you different ways to use them. I'm going to see if my glue bottle is going to cooperate this morning. I should have checked that out before I turned the camera on, but I didn't. And now it has like film on the top because I lost the top of the glue bottle, but that's okay. I have more glue right here in my drawer, so we'll use that. The first thing I want to do is just add some buttons to my tatty ribbon. This is a great, you know, just a really fun, you guys, couch potato project for, you know, these continually long winter nights that don't seem to be abating anytime soon. I know that it's March and it's still cold in a lot of places. So, you know, a great way to like spend some time on the sofa at night with a batch of goodies and a tatty ribbon and just, you know, just have fun, just see what you can make from it. Let's just go ahead and do some sewing right here. You know, nothing fancy, just a little bit of stitchery. And, you know, a great way to keep your fingers moving on a cold winter night is to do a little stitchery downstairs. Mia's snoring, which I think is just about the sweetest thing in the whole wide world. I'm going to kind of do this like this, pop this through here, and let that thread come out the front of the project, and then we'll put this back in here. All right, that's one button down. Let's do one right here. I think that's really pretty too. I'm never sure which side. I think the buttons go like this because the flat side would go on your, the flat side of course would go on your skirt or your shirt or whatever you need buttons on. I'm a fan of buttons. I'm a big fan of snaps. I am digging on some snap shirts. This is one that my nephew gave me last fall. He was thought he was going to have a yard sale, and then he didn't, and I was up to see about mom and dad getting out of the hospital and out of rehab and all that stuff. And you know, when I was packing for that trip, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. You get very rattled and you just don't pack well, and that's what happened. And I was downstairs at my brother's house, and I was like, my gosh, what are these stacks and stacks of clothes? And my sister-in-law said, well, you know, Jason thought he was going to have a yard sale with Jason and Mandy, and then they didn't, and now it's here. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, is that a lucky shirt? And she said, yeah. She said, paw through there and see what you want. And it was great because I got this lucky shirt, which I really do like. And on the bottom of it, it says lucky you. And I was like, wow, you know, that's kind of really the cheerful tone that I needed right that minute, you know, during a, you know, what sometimes is a very stressful time. I think with this one, I've got two that have the threads coming out the top like this, so I think this one I'm just going to do flat. So let's put a little knot here, and I think I'll put that right here. You can see all of the stitching here, you guys, but still there are going to be, because this is, the tatty pieces are not glued to the ribbon, there are going to be edges that are not going to be adhered, but that, to me, that just adds to the very fluid nature of a piece like this. I think that, you know, if you get too exacting, you kind of lose that sweet little flow that you have going on that we are all so fond of, because that flow means you are, you know, when you're experiencing that, it means that you are, you know, you're in the spirit, man. You're in the flow of the universe, and that is a marvelous concept right there. Okay, one more button. You know, the fun part of this is, you know, you're not waiting on anything to dry, right? You're just really having fun with your piece. You don't have to paint it or layer it or whatever. You know, you're just having fun with it. And that sure is a, you know, it's just a refreshing change to have things that are kind of you know, you can jazz up the ribbons with very little effort. Is what I was getting to. So there we go. If you guys found this video fun or helpful or entertaining or inspiring or whatever, I do have links below where you can buy me a coffee, or, and that's $5, or you can leave me a tip over at PayPal. All right, so we've got our buttons on. What else could we do? Let's sew on some of these gorgeous beads. Now let's just put those like anywhere. Michelle does excellent work. She makes beautiful journals. She makes wonderful journaling cards. Everything that she makes just has this like, ooh, it's just oozes inspiration and oozes her dedication to her art. She's just a really phenomenal artist. Okay, so we got that one down. I'm going to stand up and make sure I'm in frame and hopefully not stick myself here. Okay. Oops, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm going to go a little out here. All right, there we go. So now we've got a little button, a little bead on there, and you can use any kind of bead, right? Let's put one down here. I'm kind of at a disadvantage here because I'm having to use my glasses as well as stand up and make sure I'm in frame for y'all. Okay. Let's do one right here. All the while trying not to poke myself with a needle. Finally healing from entering my hand. Washing dishes. I broke a bowl and like slivered, just, okay, it's disgusting, so I won't talk about it. But anyway, I didn't go to the emergency room or anything. I have these things, and I would highly suggest, if you don't have that in your like little med kit, your little prep kit, I have these things called butterfly band-aids. We used to call them butterfly stitches when we were little, because unless something was super severe, you just didn't go to the doctor. And by severe, I mean like you were suffering massive blood loss or consciousness or something. Oh gosh. I grew up very differently from lots of people, I reckon. I think it's part of the whole Indian thing is, you know, trying to do things yourself and take care of yourself. All right, we've got us some beautiful Michelle beads on here. So here we go. I'm done buttons and beads. All right, let's see what else we can add. I'm going to have to reload my needle. Well, let's do that. Let's all keep our fingers crossed that I can do this. I do have a needle threader over here in my little kit. Kind of a challenge to just see if I can do it. You know, when you get OLD, you like to just challenge yourself to see if you can still do things. I did it! Alright, so we've got our needle reloaded. Get this one reloaded. I think the next thing I would like to do is to maybe add some fiber, lace, tassels, things like that. And then we'll start cutting our tatty ribbon apart, and I'll show you just some different ways to use it. I should have had several needles on the go, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm going to take some of these downstairs and play with them tonight. I just think that would be wildly fun. Okay, I'm going to put some lace right here. Great, great, great way to just use up your little bits and bobs, right? Okay, I think with this, we're just gonna tack it down like this. We'll do a little X right here. You know, perfect slow sewing project, right? Just fun. Okay, and then we'll do one up here. And just tack that down. Remember, we don't want to be really exacting because we do want this to have that wild, tatty sort of look. You know, to me, that is the abandoned, orphaned, homeless, home-seeking kind of shabby-ish kind of thing going on. Okay, so we've got that. Let's put this one, the bottom of this needs some love. This really takes me back. You know, my mom was such a seamstress. We would watch Sonny and Cher on Sunday nights, and I had really long hair, super dark skin, and I was playing with bands when I was like 14, and my mom, we would watch Sonny and Cher, and she would make me like the outfit that Cher was wearing. One of the best ones ever was a long white dress that had like a diamonds plunging neckline. Oh dear goodness, that was amazing. And my grandma was a seamstress as well. Well, I mean, that's when everybody was a seamstress, right? That's just you didn't buy off the rack, you know. You had handmade, homemade, and hand-me-downs, and a lot of those. I think what I'm going to do here is use one of Cheryl's pieces. Like I said, I'm not sure what those things are. Y'all probably know. So, and yes, Cheryl knows what they are. So tell us, Missy. All right, I'm going to put that here. I've just tied a knot right there, so that makes a nice little piece. Got my giant scissors out, y'all. tell you, once you start using giant scissors, you'll never go back to anything else. Okay, and I think I'm going to put one right here at the end. Do you see how easy this is to work with? You know, you can imagine it in your lap at night. You know, your kitty on one side or your doggy on one side, and you know, a little fireplace, maybe an electric fireplace or a gas fireplace, or just a nice like electric heater on your feet to keep you warm. Maybe a favorite show on TV, because these lend themselves really well to you really don't have to pay a lot of attention, because all of the attention is coming to you in the form of that initial tatty ribbon, and then it's just kind of up to you to add things to it. I think what we're going to do now, and we need to kind of start rolling, finishing up, because it's lunch time for the doggies as well as Chris, who is working in the garage today. Okay. I like that. I don't like the double piece. Let's go ahead and just remember, you're not sewing it down. You're just tacking it on. And you know, just the tacking on of it is really what gives it a tremendous amount of flow and movement and energy. I mean, that's really what all that is, right? So I'm just kind of picking this up, and you know, if you, I'm not a super big fan of sewing, machine sewing. It's a little tedious for me, but I'm working on my patience as far as hand sewing. Today I figured out, y'all are gonna laugh, that, well, you know, why don't you just wind 2 bobbins, and then that way when you're in the middle of a project and you run out of the bobbin, then by golly, Tammy, you know, you might have a backup there. Wasn't that just brilliant? I hear all of you laughing. But, you know, sometimes you just got to figure out stuff for yourself. I don't watch a lot of videos, so, you know, my learning curve is, it's all me. It's all trying to figure it out. It's good for your brain, you know? All right. And this is getting rather full. I don't want to overdo anything. So there we go. You know, we can do charms, and you know, we can also, I mean, we can totally do brads, you know. I don't think I can poke that through. Where'd the brad go? I don't see it. Okay, let's just do a brad right here. There you go. So, you know, you really never can discount what, you know, what you can do with scraps and bits and bobs and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Now, you know, let's go ahead and put just a few of these sweet little crowns on here. What do y'all think? I almost think that's not quite the thing. No, that's not quite the thing. Odd. Okay. No crowns. We could do some tassels. I mean, we could do like a big thing of tassels, or just kind of cut these apart. And, you know, we could actually, you know, we could do them with the brads, right? I should have thought of that, because now the brads are not, you know, quite in the place that we need them to be, but that's okay. You know, you don't have to sew it either, y'all. You can, you know, you can totally just, like, glue it. But just because I have, just because Miss C sent this, it makes me want to, it makes me want to sew. So what's up with y'all? You know, is it hand sewing or is it machine sewing? I think machine sewing is, you know, you just have to stay still while you're doing it. Staying still is hard for me. I'm like a 3-year-old. I gotta be going and going. Speaking of going and going, I've started to plan my garden this year. And I want to add pressed flowers to my Etsy store. I think that will be tons of fun. So, you know, learning something new, getting it in the shop. I can't get that. And speaking of the shop, I really am going to, start adding, you know, like these tatty ribbons and ephemera and things like that for you guys to add to your journals. Embellishments and things like that. I think that would be a sweet and fun project for right now. Okay, let's do this one right here. Uh-oh. I think I'll do it this way. There we go. You know, you could make yourself, you guys, a kit and, you know, purchase some tatty ribbon and make yourself a little embellishment kit. Take that downstairs. I'm saying take that downstairs because I'm upstairs. And, my living area and heated space is downstairs. Sorry. Okay. All right, now just briefly, because we don't want this video to get too long, let's talk about ways to use what you have done, your embellishments of your tatty ribbon. I love the word tatty. You know, we have Tracy Fox to thank for that. Tatty is in the English vocabulary, and you know, you read it a lot, and of course I read tons and tons and tons of of English literature, you know, mid-19th century literature. Okay, so we still have these things that we could have, you know, that we could have put on our tatty ribbons. I'm just going to set that to the side for a minute and go to my list. And, you know, let's see how we could use our tatty ribbon. The first idea I had was to use it as embellishment on something like, you know, something like a journal page or a journal card, because we love Inspector Poirot and we love text. I'm just going to put a little bit of text right here. I'm using a Tombow Aqua. This is cool because it has a broad tip and a pen tip. And somebody sent this to me, and I was like, you know, I like that. That's good stuff. So let's do that right there. Now what I want to do is just kind of look at this and determine, you know, what do I want, you know, to just kind of put maybe at the top and use it for a pull. I could use it on the side, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and just glue it down right here and then bend it over, and you have a really interesting super piece. Now these are small-ish pieces. You could always bump that out by putting it on something bigger, which is exactly what I'll do to it. You could leave it like this. You could, oh, I think I should probably supposed to go that way. And then I was going to fold this over. That made a really interesting little piece right there. Let me go grab, see if I can find my copy dyed paper pretty quick. Not seeing it. I had it right here. I have a massive stack of big-ish copy dyed paper, but I'm not seeing it right now. Hold on. It's gotta be right here. Hang on. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm definitely not seeing it. Oh well. Okay, but you get the idea. You can add it to, you know, like a bigger piece. Okay, let's grab my Creative Freedom Planner here. So we've got that right there. You can add this piece, you know, to a page and make that page super interesting right there. Look how cool it looks when you close the book. How really cool that tatty ribbon really looks. All right, so there's one idea. So tags, tabs, edging, pulls, clusters. Everybody, you know, does clusters. So let's take a little bit of tatty. Let's take a little bit of just some paper that it was peeking out of my I tend to stick paper that I really do love under my craft mat here, and that's where this came from. Sunflowers are the national flower of Ukraine. So in honor of those brave souls, we're just going to use that sunflower today. Maybe that's why that sunflower was peeking out. Never know, do we? Never know about those little projects that we have going on. All right, I'm going to use this little piece of very old text paper right here. Let's do that. It's fabric collage without dragging all your fabric out, you know. Do that. We could even do this And that makes a really sweet little pull right here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So lots of combinations with this new tatty ribbon that is going in the shop. We can do the pull just like that, but I really do think it's fun to fold it over. And then, you know, you even have the other side of this to actually work with as well, right? Perfect couch potato project. Cutting, measuring, sewing is all done for you. The labor-intensive part. Okay, so great ways to use it. Let's do one more. And this is just a tiny tag. Again, we're going to use... I'm going to do a bit of fabric. Bump that out. This. And then I think I'm going to put that on here and add this strip. Something interesting. I could do an inspirational saying or something right here. Or use another piece of your tatty ribbon right here. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. This is a new product in the shop. I am dedicated to listening to you guys and what you would like to see in the shop and what you gravitate to and your ideas about this tatty ribbon project that we have going on. I'll have tatty ribbon in the shop for sale probably tomorrow. I need to work on farm stuff. Spring farm. Okay. See y'all later. Thanks for hanging out.